What is up, y'all? We are live, and I got my notification on my cell phone and on my computer just like a minute ago. Cool. What is up, everyone? I have had a busy day. I started off thinking I was going to get a lot done, and I started watching those live streams. There's quite a few that happen on Saturdays now, and it was kind of cool. And then I did a bunch of water changes and made one complete video today. So busy day. So let's see who all is here. The first to the chat, as always, is Dougie from Bald and Dangerous. What is up, Dougie? Pete Berlinski is right after that. What is up, Pete? Charlie is here. What is up, Charlie? How are you guys doing tonight? Miss 54 Punchy is here. She says, "Hey, fishy peoples." What is up, Punchy? Daryl Deemer is here. What is up, Daryl? Yeah, I think I saw Daryl in one of the streams this morning too. I can't remember which one it was, but Daryl was up early on the live streams. Seems like it was the MTS one, maybe. Corey Boy Aquatics is here. Says, "What's up, Jeffro and Fish Fam?" What is up, Corey Boy? The other Bob Kaler is here. What's up, Jeff? What is up, Bob? Punchy says hi. Let's see here. Oh, Bob got his notification too. Cool. What is up, Pete? Big Ease is here. It's not easy being Big Ease. John Bedker's here. What's up, Iowa Fish Fam? What is up, John? I think you very well might be the one that told me about sweet corn with the plecos. And I tried to feed it last night, and I did blanch it, and they couldn't really get into it very good. So I don't know if there's any other tricks, but yeah, they just couldn't really. I mean, they weren't able. I mean, there was a few kernels that they were able to puncture and get the stuff out of them, but I was kind of surprised myself. 54 Punchy saying hi to John. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. What is going on with everyone? It's Saturday night, and it's a new time. I'm digging it. I think maybe I did go live at 7 last Saturday night too, but I do like this time. It seemed like that 8 o'clock one, and then the Wednesday night one happened to go to at 9. Seemed like it just, you were waiting forever to get to it. The other Bob Kaler says, acclimating 3 long fin super red plecos to planted 30-gallon just now. These guys are 1.5 inches long with long fins already. Sweet. And Charlie says, I am Charlie, aka Gone Wishing. And Charlie, I think I follow you on Instagram, and it seems like, aren't you the one that maybe, do you work at a fish hatchery or something? And I might be getting you mixed up with someone else, but I do know that I follow you on Instagram. Gone Wishing. Yeah, John, they were too rubbery. And I even went past blanching. I boiled, I lost track of time. I had the lid on the pot, and I boiled them, and it wouldn't have been boiling them for more than 3 minutes. But yeah, on a few of them they got like a little bitty hole, and they were able to suck the stuff out of them. But the rest, I mean, and I left it in there overnight. 54 Punchy. I still made a video about it though, so. I know you can't use corn to chum when you are fishing because it's not digestible for fish. There must be a way to prepare it for aquarium fish. Yeah, these guys, they're not able to you know, get the skin. They're not able to get through the skin. Bob says LFS scoop. Corey Boy Aquatic says just driving home from work. Charlie says I wish I did, but no. I've got somebody that I follow on Instagram, and they're well known, and I think they work at a hatchery because they're always at a hatchery. Corey Boy Aquatic says I hope to work on my fish room when I get home. That's always nice. Aqua Funk with Angel Freak is in the house. What's up, all you funky fresh fish freaks? What is up, Aqua Funk? Welcome to the stream. I think I seen you on a stream this morning too. What is up? It's Saturday night, man. Mayhem's Tank 522 is here. Says, hey everyone. Jad Orsi is here. She says hello. What is up, everyone? So, my Friday night was one of the most exciting nights as far as Little League Baseball goes. So, a little bit of a backstory here. For probably the last 7 or 8 years, I've been sometimes helping coach and sometimes head coaching Little League Baseball. I started out with my 16-year-old son when he was like 8 or 9, somewhere around in there. And had some years where I was the head coach where we were the #1 seed going into this tournament that's at the end of the season. And what the tournament is, it's called the county tournament, and it's where a lot of the surrounding communities to the town that I live in, we all come together and we have this county tournament. And the best year that I had, we lost 2 games in the season out of like 24. We had a really strong team. We were the #1 seed. We had beat everyone in the league once for sure, you know. And we lost out in like the 3rd round, so that would have been the semifinal round. And then last year we lost out in the semifinal round, and there was another year I lost out in like the 1st round, you know. But anyhow, this year we did not have a 1st round bye. We had to play the 1st round and the 2nd round. And last night we were in the semifinal game. We were ahead for 2 innings, 3-0. The other team tied it up, and this other team beat us twice this year. They're a strong team, and they tied it up. And then in the top of the 6th inning, which was the final inning, we were the home team. We won the toss at the beginning of the game. At the top of the 6th inning, they had a guy on second base. He hit to get on base, and he was on second base, and they had a guy up to bat that hit just a little grounder to the pitcher, and the pitcher threw to first, and it went through the first baseman, and he was throwing it pretty hard to try to beat the runner out to first, you know. And it went all the way down the fence line, all the way to the corner, and they scored 2 runs off of that. So that put them up 5-3. And then we held them, got out of that inning. We had 2 outs there too, by the way. We come up to bat down 5-3 in the final inning, and our first leadoff, we were at the top of the lineup too, so we were in perfect position if we could just do it. And our leadoff hitter got on. He got a base hit, and then he stole second. He was on second, and the second pitch to our 2 hitter hit the deepest home run I've ever seen in Little League history. I mean, it went way out into the parking lot. So that tied us up. And our next at bat, our 3 hitter hit a base hit, and they overthrew first base, and it went under the fence into the dugout, so he got second. And our next batter hit one through shortstop, and I sent the kid that was on second, I sent him home, and he beat the throw home, and we won in a walk-off base hit. So we go to the championship game Monday night, and it was exciting. I mean, one of the other coaches lost his voice and everything. It was really, really awesome. So first time I've ever, as a coach, got to go to the championship game of this tournament, and our town has not won this tournament in like 10 years. We're on a dry streak here, so it would be really, really cool if we go out there Monday night and win this thing. and we can. So, where are we at in the chat? That rhymes. Channel of Wonders is here. What is up, Channel of Wonders? The Channel of Wonders. Welcome to tonight's stream. See if I missed anybody else coming into the chat. Yeah. John Bedker says, food 1, plecos 3. That is the truth. And, you know, when I started this, an hour into it, I was like, ruh-roh. You know, this one's not going to be very good. But I did finish the video a little bit ago. It won't go up until a week from Monday. It's already on YouTube, but I've got a video already up there Monday and Thursday this week. It won't go up until, you know, a week from this Monday. But it did end up being a good video. I kind of gave it away to everybody now. Everybody knows that. I mean, it's going to be, it's an interesting video to watch. So, they can't win them all, even though they're, you know, 30 strong. That's why I thought they would just mow through that thing. Mayhem's Tank 522. MJ Aquatics is here. Boy, Jeff Rose and the Fish Fam. What is up, MJ Aquatics? Thanks for stopping in, buddy. 54 Punchy says, it is good to post failures as well as successes. Yeah, it is. The failures teach you something too, you know. I mean, I wouldn't ever feed corn on the cob to your plecos. The only thing it would really act as is like a pacifier, and they don't really need a pacifier. I mean, they were sucking the heck out of that thing and just with no luck. They even were trying to get in at the top. They were spending a lot more time on the top and on the bottom than they were anything, because they thought that they could get to the meat of the kernels is what they were doing. And I mean, it made for a good video, but they just didn't destroy the corn on the cob like I thought they would. Let's see. It's good. Okay, I got that one. So, I am at the bottom of the chat. John Bedker says, but you successfully found out what a pleco can't eat. Yeah, and that's a lot of what this is like, you know, you got to be careful though, because like, I think it was either Wednesday night. Yeah, it was Wednesday night's live stream. Someone asked what I was going to feed next, and I had just, either that night or the night before, picked up a avocado at the store. And Dougie from Bald and Dangerous spoke up in the chat, and he says, do not feed that to your plecos. And he said something about the poison. There's a certain poison in it that's not good for cats and dogs and fish. And I looked it up after the stream was over, and it is the truth. So, you know, I'll have to make me some guacamole dip out of it, which is no big deal. I love my guacamole. But it's really important. What that tells you is it's really important before you put it in the tank to really research it, you know, find out, you know, a lot of them, nobody ever feeds fish too, so it's not like you can Google, can you feed corn to your fish, you know, I mean, yeah. Charlie says, all my fish love peas, I just squish them. I used to feed peas. I've got a bag of frozen peas, and I don't know why I stopped feeding them. I know my shrimp love them. You have to pop them out of the shell, but you kind of have to shell them. My crayfish love them too. Crayfish devour peas. But I am probably, I want to do pleco versus coconut. I know coconut is a harder material, but I still think that they can do some damage to it. And I can't remember, I think it was Mile High Pleco suggested that to me. And at first, someone had said broccoli, and at first I thought that was going to be hard to video, but I don't think that one would be very hard. Radishes, I could still do radishes. Radishes would probably be good. Carrot. Someone said carrot. Probably have to blanch the carrot. Aqua Funk says, I used to feed my fish fresh scallops and shrimp and fish until I decided I wanted it more. Yep. Yep. And I already made up my mind I wasn't going to feed apple because it was on that top 10 list of high acidic content. Mushrooms would be a good one. I think Pete was the one that had mentioned that one, and I think, didn't you say, Pete, if you're still in the chat, didn't you say like capped mushrooms or something like that? Oh, and then someone, was it Daryl or Charlie, had said tofu? That would be really cool too. I bet you they would tear that one up. You could get a big chunk of tofu. That one may be what I do next, because what I really like about this series is getting stuff that you just know nobody has ever fed their plecos, you know? And if they have, they've for sure never made a video. Just fresh mushrooms. Yep. Jad says, my fish all eat zucchini, green beans, broccoli, sweet potato. Never done sweet potato or broccoli, but zucchini and green beans I do all the time. Oh, and peas. So your fish eat peas, broccoli, and sweet potato. How do they do on broccoli? Does it make a big mess? Or are they able to just tear the greens off the tips and then they leave the stalk, is what I'm assuming. Because that would end up being a good video. I could do like a whole head, even though I would pull it out a few hours later. But that one would probably even work really good with my super reds or my albinos. I think the contrast on them would be good. And then, let's see, so yeah, broccoli. Sweet potato I do not have on my list. Do you cook it, or what do you do? Because sweet potato is really, really hard, Jad. They munch the tops of the trees like children. Cool. Yeah, Pete says mushrooms are really healthy for them. I've heard that they're really good for the small plecos too, like they're high in protein. Right now mine are eating zucchini. Cool, Pete. Sweet. Yeah, I figured that, Jad. I did have a question. Oh, on the, okay, parboil the sweet potatoes. Okay. Parboil sweet potatoes. That's a really good one too. I could do that one around Thanksgiving. Sweet potatoes. Alright, we are at the bottom of the chat again, and we're only 20 minutes in. Trying to think of something new. So you guys saw my livestock, adding the livestock to the summer tubs, so I can talk about that now. I was out there earlier, and there's even more fry in the Rainbow Tiger inler tank. That tank is taken off, and they're all really, really active right now. I mean, all the fish and the shrimp are doing really, really good. And I've got that filter working really good now. Everything's going really smooth out there. Can't remember. I was thinking about a question to ask somebody that does summer tubs today, but I can't really remember. 54 Punchy says would be the only good use for sweet potatoes. The only time I ever cook sweet potatoes is whenever I have the holidays at my house. My 20-year-old daughter loves the sweet potatoes that I make. I don't buy them in the can. I cook them down really good and use molasses and brown sugar and all kinds of different, marshmallows and all kinds of stuff. But I've never, the only thing that I'll eat now as an adult, I never would even touch sweet potatoes as a kid. It just didn't do it for me. I have ate at some nicer restaurants that deep fry sweet potato french fries, and they got seasoning on them and stuff, and those actually weren't bad. And then there was one time I accidentally, when I was doing a Thanksgiving dinner at my house, I always buy my pumpkin pies in the freezer section. I bought what I thought was a pumpkin pie and it ended up being a sweet potato pie, and I didn't realize it until we were eating. I just noticed the color was a little different, but it actually wasn't that bad. So, yeah, Corey Boy Aquatic says sweet potato fries. I agree. It seems like I've even bought them in the freezer section before, the type that you could just put on a cookie sheet, you know, and they're not bad. Maxwell Soneman is here. Good day, Jeff Rowe. What is up, Maxwell? 54 Punchy is getting ill. Nauseated. Yeah, I hate sweet potatoes, though. So if you hate sweet potatoes, like if I was to sit down and be forced to eat sweet potatoes right now, I would be getting nauseated and I would be getting sick. I'd probably gag and throw up. So if that's the way I feel about sweet potatoes, but I liked the fries, that means that they were like doped up really good, where, you know, they just really were good. Jad Orsi says, oh snap, I forgot about sweet potato pie with fresh vanilla cream. Yeah, it was actually good. That's the only time I've ever had sweet potato pie, was a frozen one. It was like the Marie Callender's one. Marie Callender's pies are good. Maxwell Soneman says, yum, I love sweet potatoes. Yeah, I don't know how these live streams always get over onto food, but, well, I do, because I was just talking about my plecos and what type of food they eat, and we're feeding them human food. And now we're talking about home cooking. Yep, sea salt makes anything taste good. And, you know, the first time I ate the sweet potato fries, it was at like a steakhouse. And I thought, I'm just going to try them. You know, they were a little bit wider cut, you know, and they weren't that bad. But the next time I ate them, they were even better. They were like a freezer section French fry that you bake in the oven, you know, and they really were good. I always, I don't always, but some, like today I did, take the freezer fries and just deep fry them is what I do. Charlie says, so what you're saying is that you feed the plecos everything you don't like to get it out of the house. No, not necessarily. Steamfod Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Bob? He says, well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Bob. Hopefully you got a video coming up tomorrow. That's something that I never can remember. Always remember your live stream days, but I can't ever remember your days of uploads. I remember Sundays, I think. But everybody saying hi to Bob. So tomorrow, what I got on the agenda is I've got to, you know, complete another tank. I've got a L183 40-gallon breeder tank to make, and I've got the same stuff that I just got done scaping the L182 tank, but I've got to make it look different. So anybody has any suggestions? So like I've got Mopani wood, that's what I used in the last one. I've got some Malaysian wood, but I've got some really nice Mopani that I want to use. And I've got pea gravel, which I do want to go with that again because that really turned out good. I love that for these tanks. And then I've got like some crypts and some Java ferns, the Windelobe and the regular. Let's see, what else do I got to put in there? Like a jungle sword. And I got to make it look different. And then I've got some rocks, but I might not do rocks in this one, and that will be the difference, because the last one, the rocks that I used almost look like a dragonstone. You guys will see them. They're really nice. I found them at a stream in Missouri, and they're all exactly the same color, and they've all got these deep pits. So I think on this next one, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I'm going to do it without the rocks. And that will be my difference. Bob says, Sunday and whatever day, LOL. Another fish room tour tomorrow. Awesome. Maxwell asks, Bob, you streaming the gaming channel tonight? And Bob says yes. And if anybody doesn't know, it's kind of cool. I stopped by there last week. Bob has a gaming channel. I think it's called Steamfot Gaming. If anybody is in the chat that knows what it is, you can go ahead and link it. It's kind of cool. These new games nowadays. I haven't played video games since a long time. I mean, I did play Skyrim quite a bit on the PlayStation, and that would be probably the newest age game that I've played because, yeah, I used to love playing video games. But anyhow, Bob's got a streaming or a video game channel, and it's really cool. Let's see here. Priscilla MK Art is there, and she says, hi, everyone. What is up, Priscilla? Punchy says it has been stormy and thunderstorms all day here. It did that earlier in the week for like 2 days, so like I think Wednesday and Thursday, and the temperature actually dropped down until Thursday mid-afternoon, and the temperature climbed. And right now I think it's like 97, 98 degrees outside and so humid. And we've got tomorrow is the same way. So, yeah, last night at that ball game, it was sweaty. Angelo's Fish Tanks is here. What is up? What is up? Welcome to the stream. Didn't see ya. Sorry about that. It helps when everybody says hi to you because I'm like, oh. Maxwell Soneman says, it doesn't rain much in Australia, but when it does, it goes hard. Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of rain here either. There's what it basically is for us here in Iowa is when we do get rain, it's a flood season. You know, I mean, we get rain here and there, but we're pretty much, you know, last week I was complaining about how dry it was, and then you hear of other states that haven't had rain in months, you know, so I can't complain too much. You know, we've had rain 2 days this week, and it was 2 weeks since it had rained, but I think lots of times in Iowa, if there's a little bit of a dry spell, the farmers tell me that the corn, the roots go deeper, so that makes it stronger for when the real thunderstorm and windy season gets here because it keeps it from knocking over. So they kind of like a little bit of a dry spell here and there. So Priscilla, she linked Bob's gaming channel, and it's Steamfot Gaming. I'm doing well, Angelo. I'm doing well. V-Stag is in the house. What is up, Victor? What is up? Hi, Jethro. LOL. Yep. That's because I forgot before. Okay. That's funny. Glad for the rain today. There is a forest fire at the Colorado-Wyoming border that has been smoking us out every day. Yeah, Punchy. My buddy Michael Gervino from Mile High Plecos, he got married earlier in the week, and for their party that they were throwing, he drove over the line to get some fireworks, and he said he could see it. It was bad. Corey Boy Aquatic says we had to work desert only. Dessert only 102. Not too bad. Priscilla MK Art says, where's your boyfriend? Well, which one, Dank or Michael? Dank is paintballing right now, and Michael is at his daughter's dance recital. Angelo's Fish Tank says, "Do you see Deb's Did you see Deb's video today, Jay?" John Bedker, ugh, 10 hours of yard sale, 90 plus heat, and a bottle of Smirnoff. Very bad mix. Yeah, I heard somebody the other day, I can't remember, well, maybe it was the other night, David Betancourt, I think is how you say his last name. I was on his live stream the other night. He just went live just random at nighttime. So it might have been like Thursday night or something. And it was, someone in the chat was saying Jack Daniels and root beer. And I almost bought some of that last night on my way home from the ball game just to see how it tasted. Which boyfriend do you love more? I love them all the same. She's kidding, by the way, everyone in the chat. Joseph from JH Aquatics is in the house. He says, "Hola, late to class." Yeah, whatever. This ain't no class here, buddy. That is funny. Yep, she does rock. The tall one is a weirdo. Yeah. Get in the corner, Joseph. That is funny. Editing the Fish Fam News. Awesome. That one looks like it would be difficult to do. I'm going to be honest. I hadn't really been to your channel very much until it was like last month. I started going over there and looking at the Fish Fam News. I had bits and pieces of your channel. I mean, it's a busy life for me, you know. And whenever I was watching your Fish Fam News, I thought, man, that would be a really difficult one to edit. Because anytime I'm shooting a video and there's fish tanks around, everybody can see where the cuts are, you know, and it's like, it would be difficult. And then also, like, I'm sure you have a little bit of a script to go off of, and yeah, it would be a difficult one to edit, or a difficult one altogether to shoot and everything, you know, like that one for Bob Steenfott's thing that he's doing right now, the YouTuber Aquarium Spotlight. That one, I think I just overthought it in my mind, and you know, actually, it really wasn't all that fit. You know, like, I think at the beginning when I start showing the aquarium, I start talking about, I'm going to talk about things I like about it and things I don't like about it, and I don't think I ever said anything that I don't like about it. And it just, I think I was overthinking it in my mind. It just was difficult. Plus, anytime that you're on a thing that you're never on, like, I don't ever force myself to keep a video at a certain amount of time. Now, if I ever see a video is running really short, I try to think, I've got to get some more B-roll, you know. I got to get some more B-roll and get this video a little bit longer, you know. But the Bob Steenfott one, he wanted it 1 to 3 minutes long, so that's what I think for me made it most difficult. Which, as creators, it's good to do things like that every once in a while, to put yourself in that type of situation to make something, you know, at a certain time frame, because I'm never on a time frame. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Joseph brings up another good point about his Fish Fam news videos. He says, I spend a lot of time watching a lot of videos, no doubt, because you can't just go and make the Fish Fam News about a creator without have watching something, you know. I mean, yeah. Ay. Priscilla says, I hope I didn't make it into the news. So Bob brings up a good point. Bob says camera funding is getting there at JH Aquatics. Priscilla is doing a GoFundMe, and I think as of this morning there was still around $100 to get, or somewhere around in there. But you know, I mentioned this last, gosh, I don't even know if I mentioned it Wednesday night or not, but I mentioned it once before. But Joseph is getting ready to go to Peru next month, and his camera is shot, basically. It's not dependable, and he's buying one off of Jimmy. And with all the money that he saved to go to on his trip to Peru, it's kind of cut him short on the money and stuff. So Priscilla was nice enough to start a GoFundMe account, and Priscilla will link it in the chat here. If you guys could go, and even if everybody on here put $3 or $5 or $2, you know, anything that you could do, we're almost to the goal of $500. That's what he needed whenever he added up everything to figure out what he needed to be able to finish purchasing the camera. Mayhem Tank says, Jeffro, do you still use your DIY trickle tower? I still do, man. I've got it on my summer tubs right now, and the only reason why I do, I was just going to do sponge filters, because the summer tubs, you really don't have to do great big filtration, you know. But the reason why I did is to where all that beneficial bacteria stuff, you know, all of the biomedia that I've got in there, I didn't want it to set around and go bad, you know. I could have took everything out of it and put it in a bunch of different aquariums here and there and stuff, but I just wanted to keep that filter going. So I put it on my summer tubs, and what I did, you'll have to go back and look at the video, but to where you can see exactly how I did it. But I'm sucking out of one of the summer tubs up into the shower trickle filter, and then it's coming down into the top tub, and then I cut an overflow on one of the tubs, and it's overflowing it back into the other tub so I could keep it going. And it really works great, because like this week I set up 2 new tanks, and I had, you know, beneficial biomedia already done up. You know, it's already cycled and ready to go, and it helps your tank cycle sooner. And like sometimes whenever I'm cleaning out hang on the back filters, I'll take one of those out, and if I don't have time to clean it right now, I'll run out and get a clean one real quick, you know, and clean as in doesn't have a bunch of stuff jammed up in it. Steamthought Aquatic says, Priscilla, you are the news. Jage Aquatic says, I need to film something for Bob and IFG tomorrow. Steamthought Aquatic, stop being a douche. And Bob says, well, stop tipping the minimum. Yeah, that's funny. Bob, I will throw as many bills as you as I desire. That was funny. That was so funny. Nice stream, douche, or something like that, she said the other night. Priscilla says, one day I will super chat Bob $100 and $1 bills. Muhahaha. Bob says, let me get my G-string on. That would be something not to see, but well, I don't have anything else to talk about, guys. Food was keeping us really busy. That seems to always happen on these live streams. Food was keeping us, you know, talking about something. Please don't, Charlie. Yeah, I know. I don't see how I was thinking about this the other day. I was in a live stream, and I pulled off my hat and scratched it, and someone said baldy, you know, or something like that. And there's an ongoing thing that, you know, people are saying, Bob, you have to take your hat off after you get 100,000 subscribers, you know, yada, yada, yada. Every once in a while that comes up for your people that have been subscribers to Bob for a long time. And I don't see how he's never, in any of his streams, ever done that. I watch some of my streams back, which maybe Bob doesn't, but I do just to see how I can get better. I watch all my videos too. But, you know, I look back on mine and I'm picking my eye boogers and scratching my ear, pulling ear hairs out, pulling my head off and scratching it. You know, I'm just grooming myself throughout the whole video, and I don't see how Bob has never, ever pulled his hat off during the video or a live stream. I don't know. Kind of crazy. Bob says, I can't watch my streams, too cringy. Sometimes I watch them and I'm like, Okay, I just live streamed for an hour and then I just watched it back an hour. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm like, what am I really doing with my life? You know? So, yeah. Bob says I took my hat off once. Funny. So 54 Punchy says we need $145 more for the GoFundMe for JH Joseph's camera. Priscilla MK Art says Bob did the mistake once of not turning the audio when he went to go pee. I think I remember that stream. I think I do remember that stream. Yeah, I peed on the live stream. Yeah, I do remember that one. Yep. Kind of funny. And that's something that that I was thinking about was the deeper and deeper you get into this fish fam, and the more and more you learn people's names, it's kind of hard to keep up with them because in the chat, you know, some people have their name, but others don't. So, like, oh, Brandon from Mr. B's Fishing Things. Like, the last 2 weeks I've been calling him Brad, and then I seen him post something on either Facebook or Instagram yesterday, and it's Brandon Salamaka or however you pronounce his last name. And I commented on his photo. He got a Volkswagen Beetle, a pretty old one, and it's pretty cool looking. And I commented on there, I've been calling you Brad for the last 2 weeks, and I know his name's Brandon, but it's just so hard to keep all these names straight with everyone, and it's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Charlie says, does anyone have experience with the Sun canister filter? Well, Dank says, yo, be there in 10. Hope you're going long. The only one I know that has Sun canister filters, maybe Bob has, but Dank likes them. Maybe Bob has. It seems like Bob has had some in the past. I have never used a Sun canister. I don't have any canister filters, and I haven't kept a canister filter for probably over 20 years, and I can't remember what brand that one was back then. I know it was like $100 canister filter, so I don't know if Blue Ball was making stuff back then, but that's probably what it was. Like, here's a little story I'll tell you guys. So, oh, Bob says he's never bought a Sun. I have cheap eBay knockoffs. Yeah, but the cheap eBay knockoff lasted for over a year without a filter change, if I remember right. So, without even opening it up. Yeah. So, okay. So, never had fish growing up at home, but whenever I got my first apartment at 18 years old with my wife, we started getting fish tanks, and we got like mollies in one of the tanks, and I think tiger barbs, and like common pleco in the other tank. And we went through all of the stuff, you know, the new fish keeping stuff, you know, learning as you go, yada yada yada. But whenever I got out of fish keeping that time, the next time I went to fish keeping, it was a 125-gallon tank with, like, I can't remember what it was, but it was a catfish that got really large and a pacu that got really large. Actually, I think I had like 2 pacus and then an Oscar. You know, I went all out, and I had dual canister filters on there. And then I got out of it for quite a few years, and then I went back to things like sponge filter and stuff like that. And then this time, whenever I got back into the fish hobby, I had MTS, you know. I just, gosh, now I'm up to, I think, over 30 aquariums set up. So, you know, and I've been back in it for like a couple of years now. So, kind of a crazy thing there. And I don't have my biggest, well, the summer tubs, you can't really count those, but my biggest aquariums in the house are like 55 gallons. Priscilla says, I have one. They crap out after 2 years. Cheap materials, but works. Hank swears by his. 54 Punchy says, I need to find a cheap but powerful canister for my turtle guys. They poop a lot. I don't have aquatic turtles, but I've got a terrestrial turtle and it poops a lot too. Susan for SLC Aquatics is here. She says, hi Jeffro, what is up Susan? Love that stream this morning that you ladies did. That was really neat to see all you gals. Maxwell says, yeah, Corey always badmouths them. The Sun filters, I'm assuming. John Bedker says, Bob did take his hat off in one of his old videos. Not going to tell you which one. Just go watch them all. LOL. Right, Bob? Yeah. And that's what I was assuming Bob was meaning by in the chat where he says, it's there, you know. Yep. Bob Kaler says, Molly's rock. I just about pulled the trigger on a male and a female at the LFS the other day that were the deepest black mollies I'd ever seen. And I haven't had mollies in 20 years. And yeah, I just about pulled the trigger. They were deep black and pretty good size too. And he had a female that had been grown out that was huge. Guppy, a female fancy guppy and a male fancy guppy, and both of them were just gigantic. They're like those ones that Corey has grown out that are just like fat, you know. Fish fam mom listening. Bob says, honestly, if everyone didn't make such a big deal about it, I would have taken my hat off 2 years ago regularly. Yeah, Bob's probably got a great big giant afro under his hat, and he shaves it down here to make it look like he doesn't have much hair, so everybody thinks that Bob is a baldy, but he's really got a big, thick head of hair, you know. It's probably blonde, and it's really nice. You can probably do a lot with it and manage it. Priscilla says, you're going to take my tiger barbs, right? Can you please also take the Buenos Aires tetras? Just trying to dump my unwanted fish on you, friend. How many tiger barbs you got? Because I've already got like 15. So I don't want to say yes if you say, well, I've got 30 tiger barbs. Buenos Aires tetras. How many of those you got? But I could probably help you out, I'm sure. The other Bob Kaler says, I did hear Hannibal got to you, Bob. Yeah. Priscilla says, which one? Corey Boy says, I like my son. Mayhem Tank says, Bob's tank is the reason I've been getting my tank ready for rainbows. Man, I saw some really pretty, what's the Axelrod rainbow? Gosh, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it if I was reading it right now, but you guys know what I say when I say the Axelrod rainbow. Jimmy put one up today on one of the social medias, and it was a beautiful fish. And then the other day, whenever we were watching that Gary Lang live stream, they put up like a red one, and it wasn't up for very long, but there was some kind of a predominantly red rainbow that was just gorgeous. I mean gorgeous. Susan says, thanks, glad you enjoyed the stream and so glad to have you tune in. Yep, Priscilla drugged me there, but it wasn't that hard. She didn't have to drag me very hard. Charlie says, sorry, but I need to go. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for coming, Charlie. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you Wednesday night. And it will be at the new time, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central. I promise, because no matter what, Monday night, the championship game, that is the last game of the season, no matter what. I'm not helping with All-Stars. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I kind of just steered around it, so I don't have to coach for All-Stars. Steamfought says, I burned my dome 2 weeks ago. I burned mine early this year. It was real early, and it was bad enough it peeled and everything. But now, it's not that bad. Yeah. Susan saying hi to Mayhem. Priscilla says Susan's streams are always fun. Priscilla also says no, only 5 tiger barbs and 4 Bueno Aries. Yeah, I should be able to take those off your hands. Yeah. And what we could maybe do is figure out on that Sunday. I don't know if you're on the way away from Michael or what, but maybe we could wait till that Sunday morning and the fish that you're needing me to take off your hands, I could stop by you. And another thing, you had mentioned today for me to try to stop and see you Friday. Maybe if you wanted, at least maybe we could do a fish room tour and we could focus maybe on your puffers, because it seems like you've got like 4 or 5 different puffers and I doubt they're all in the same tank. But if I do enough B-roll, you know, it's not like we have to really tour your whole thing, and then we can touch on your art a little bit and I can make a video out of your place too. Everybody's saying bye to Charlie. Joseph's got shrimp for Priscilla. And we are at the bottom of the stream. Yeah, Dank stopped in and said, I'm running late, hope you're going long, but I'm not going to go long tonight because I have not ate supper yet, and it's almost 8 o'clock here. So I'm going to eat supper. Angelo's fish tank says, hi again all, what is up? Priscilla says, well, if you drive over here, you will get to Fort Collins first over Nebraska if you drive that way. That means nothing to me because I don't even really know where you guys live yet or anything. I just know it's kind of close to Denver, and you only live 10 minutes away from Michael, but now he's moving 14 miles away, so. Angelo's fish tank says, sorry, going to be popping in and out. I'll probably only go the next 10 minutes, maybe, somewhere around in there. I'm not going to do a 2-hour tonight. I got to eat. Corey Boy says, how can I get rid of MTS in my Shelly tank? Maybe a loach? MTS. MTS to me means multiple tank syndrome. What does MTS mean to you, Corey Boy? And it's probably I'm having a blonde moment. Okay, so he'll live 20 minutes away from you then. Susan says, yes, tour of Priscilla's fish room and her awesome art. I'd love to see that, Jeff. Yeah, might as well do it while I'm there. I don't even know if she's done that in a long time anyhow. Bald and Dangerous says, I have to go. Jeff, it's nearly 2 a.m. here. Thanks for a great live stream. Catch you later. Well, thanks for coming, Dougie. Hopefully you have a good night's sleep, and we'll see you Wednesday night, man. The other Bob Kaler says, saw your note about already filming next tubbing update. Yep. I've got a couple of small aquariums out in my backyard, and one of them I put like some leaves of lettuce in, and the other one I put a bunch of grass clippings in, and I'm putting some easy green in there with them, you know, overdoing it on them, trying to get some green water going to put in the summer tubs. And I've been making a few clips about that, and might get out there tomorrow and do a few more clips and try to get a video up for you guys, but it probably won't be for a couple weeks because I've got about 4 videos in front of them. But yeah, I'm working on it right now. And I said earlier in the stream, the rainbow tiger endlers have kind of exploded. I seen a bunch of fry in there tonight. This afternoon. Priscilla says, I live north, like only an hour away from the Wyoming border. Corey Boy Aquatic says snail. Oh, Malaysian trumpet snails. And then let's see, what was your question again? I like my son. Corey Boy Aquatic says, how can I get rid of my MTS in my Shelly tank? Maybe a loach. Yeah. The Malaysian trumpet snails, when they take off, they take off. This 55-gallon over here, it is packed. And I just grabbed a bunch of them the other night. What I like about it is they keep the substrate clean. But they do reproduce like crazy. I mean, and I don't know scientifically on this one if they can reproduce from one, but I think I got one in on a plant. But it could have been eggs on a plant, you know. But there's some of them that can reproduce if there was just one, I think. And I might be wrong. I'm no scientist. Raf Cabrera is here. What's up, Jeff? We'll catch up the video replay. I just logged in. Hope all is good. All is good here, man. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Susan was like snails. MTS. Yeah, MTS equals Malaysian trumpet snails. Yeah, it was a blonde moment for me. MTS is multiple tank syndrome to me, man. Yeah, I figured it out before I got it in the chat, though, because whenever he said snails, I was like, MTS, snail. Oh, yeah, Malaysian trumpet snail. Heather is here? I didn't even see Heather. Heather Nielsen is here. Wow. Welcome. Didn't even see you. You snuck in, unless I already read one of your comments. And then I'm really having a blonde moment. Let's see here. We're going fishing, man. You're not gonna get out of that. LOL. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to fish though, because Friday I'm gonna be on the road all day long, and whenever I get there, I want to do like, you know, I want to see you, of course, but I'd like to film some of your fish room, and I don't know if my son is gonna be with me or not. My youngest son, I think it's his mom's weekend, so I can do it one of two ways. I can make him go a day early and come home a day early, or I can tell her she has to have him on a different weekend. But I'm going to be leaving Friday morning, and it's like a 10.5 hour drive, but that was to Denver, so if you're in Fort Collins, that's different. Maybe it's a little closer. And then maybe get something to eat with you guys, and then maybe go back and film some of your fish room and your artwork. And I can be back to my hotel room late. I mean, I'm a night owl. And then Saturday morning, get up when things are quiet and go over to Michael's fish room and do some videoing over there. And then maybe Saturday night, we can go out to eat with overalls and stuff. And maybe by then, it seems like Mike was gonna like get a pork butt or something like that and do a great big grill. That would be cool. Priscilla, someone did a fish room tour of my tanks once, but I won't tell you. I don't want anyone to go watch it. LOL. Uh-oh. Boy, everybody's popping in. Let's see here. Since we're getting close to the end, I'm going to go ahead and skip down here because I seen Prolific Breed is in the house. Dropped in to smash the like button. Thanks, man. I'm digging that, for lack of the better term here, because I'm not into saltwater and stuff, but the saltwater, coral stuff, the live plants or whatever that cool, awesome stuff is that you're doing, it looks awesome on Instagram, man. Yeah, Heather says I'm sneaky. Gotta run, gotta take my son to Footy Peace. All right, it's 8 o'clock, right on the button. Tampa Tom showed up. There was Malaysia trumpet snail eggs on a plant I got because 6 weeks later I found like 50 babies hiding in the gravel. And I like them because there's something my LFS doesn't have, so I can take him as many as he wants. And he's actually selling them pretty good. And they help keep the substrate pretty clean. To me, they've not been pestilent yet, except for they're just blowing up like there's a ton of them. Yeah, prolific breed. They are very colorful. I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream there. Good stream, guys. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to stop by and see my new adventure on my video Monday. I got a terrarium and I got some frogs, and I want you guys to come and check out that video. Show me some love. I know it's a frog-ish vivarium video, but check it out. And then we'll see you guys here next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thanks everyone for coming, and you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Peace out, y'all. Peace.